Overthinking? I think we need more thinking. Let's try to get healthy. Let's stay together. And if we can do that, we put ourselves in a good situation.
And over the shoulder, no-looker.
How's it going, everyone, and welcome. I'm CS Chandler, here to talk about some NBA basketball. Off-season stuff, you know. So we had a lot to talk about. I've been off a little over a week now, ever since the Knicks won the championship. Kind of took the week off, been busy with another convention that I went to this last week. It was for one called InfoComm 2026. Still in the Las Vegas Convention Center, which is very common to a lot of conventions that come through here. Most recently that I went to was NAB, but went to that, was very interesting, you know, got a lot to see with video walls. If you're own a business or whatever, there's a lot about marketing using video walls, not just with that, but then also using it for venues and everything. So like I saw some of the technology that powers the Sphere or the Cosm in LA. And then just a lot of different, whenever you are walking around in a big city and you see those big screens up on the skyscrapers and everything, those videos, that kind of technology, that was really, really cool. So that, and then also they had stuff with AI and then also just lighting in general, which was really fun. So did that last week, and I have a lot of stuff that still I'm piecing through editing, and so I apologize for not getting to an actual podcast over the last week. It was also just kind of nice to decompress after that championship win. A lot going on though, so we are going to dive into that. But we first, so we got to talk about the follow-up of the New York Knicks championship, and then we're going to head over and talk about the trades and hires that just happened recently, and how that kind of affects the Nuggets with their movements and everything. And then we'll follow it up with draft night, which, I'm going to say it right now. I'll say it again. I'm not so knowledgeable on the draft this year. To be honest, I kind of didn't really pay a lot of attention. Last season, I was dug in. The season before that, I've been dug in before. Just this season just didn't feel fun. So I don't know a lot about who is going what, but we'll just kind of briefly go over it because I don't want to go live during the draft tonight. And so I'll leave that to my much better, more educated brothers in the DNVR to do that. So if you're interested in watching a live while the draft is happening, they got that going. They excel at that a lot. So head over there if you want to watch a live during the draft tonight, which is, I believe, at 5:30 Pacific time, like 8:30 or something like that, East Coast time. So it'll be around pretty soon here. So, let's really dive into our first topic here.
Hey, so we got the disrespect heard around the world from Wemby to basically the entire Knicks, right? There's been a couple of mindsets on this. We had Draymond Green come on board saying that it was basically, if you walk away and not shake my hand, then I own you. I know I own you. And it's a complete, lack of sportsmanship. And then you had Cam Johnson recently come on board and say he was angry. He was a competitor. I don't blame him at all for it. So where do we all stand on this? I know where I stand. And I feel like it doesn't matter how much of a competitor you are. You've got to shake the man who bested you. When you get bested, you got to shake the hand, respect the game. You don't have to like it. No one said you had to like it. No one said that it made you weaker to shake the hand, but it's the respect. Jokic knows this. This is why he is a MV3, because he understands the game. Wemby, I know he is young. He's going to hopefully learn from this, but he has got to be less of a bad sportsmanship kind of person than just trying to act like he is the best player. I know that's a lot in his head, and he thinks that he's the best because everyone has been telling him he's the best. So a little bit of there, that's kind of like enabling. But at the same time, like, I just did not agree with him walking off court and the rest of the Spurs following suit too, because then you also have to think about that, who watches a lot of these games. I know it's like people like me and everyone who are already grown up, but there's a lot of kids who watch these games and they look up to people like Wemby. And so when they see Wemby walking off the court instead of shaking hands, what kind of signal does that teach? What kind of sign does that teach? What kind of lesson does that teach the kids that are watching these games? You got to think about the fact that you are a role model now. As a superstar athlete, you are a role model to everyone who follows you. And so by walking off the court and not shaking hands with Brunson, complete disrespect, complete lack of sportsmanship. And honestly, I don't respect him. I respect him less now because of it. I already started to lose respect after the dirtiness that he was playing with the jiu-jitsu of Brunson by the back of the head and no call. The fact that they were babying him throughout the entire finals. Before that, I actually didn't have much of an issue with Wemby. The only issue that I took was his exception to Jokic. He is definitely bothered by Jokic. I think a little bit of it got into his skin that Jokic made fun of him for reading a book in the locker room during the All-Star game. But at the same time, he needs to get more mature. It's kind of annoying to see someone with that big of a head not realizing how much of an impact of a role model they actually play. And when you lose a game, you got to shake the hand. You got to shake the hand. What was the difference between the Bad Boy Pistons and the Chicago Bulls? The Chicago Bulls wanted to shake the hands. Bad Boy Pistons didn't. They only won 2. Chicago Bulls won 6. There is a mindset to championship level mentality that comes along with this. And the one thing I will say, I dogged Luke Cornett during the finals for his, a little bit of like plowing over Josh Hart and everything. I actually have a little bit more respect for him because he was the only Spur that stuck around to shake anyone's hand. And he actually did shake a lot of hands, as much as he could. And that just, to me, shows the maturity and the championship level mindset that he already has because he's already won a championship with the Boston Celtics. When you win a championship, you understand those things more. And so I am not in favor of Wemby walking away, not shaking hands. Because on the other end, too, you had Brunson walking straight to Mitch Johnson's, wherever he was on the baseline there, on the sideline, and shaking his hand. That was immediately the first thing that he did. Because he understood when you are playing a game, you got to respect the opponent. Whether you win or lose, you got to respect. You don't have to like it. Again, you do not have to like it, but to shake the hand, it comes with a certain amount of responsibility as a superstar, as an athlete, as a public figure, as a professional. You have to shake the hand. And the fact that he didn't says a lot about who he is and how much he needs to grow from here. So, moving on from that, then we got the parade. And man, if you're a Nuggets fan, I don't know about you, but that parade just really made me miss the 2023 Denver Nuggets. That parade was awesome. Jokic, Bruce Brown, Aaron Gordon dancing in the street with the Nuggets Nation. Like, that was peak vibes. But if you didn't see anything about this parade was crazy. And it was on a different level. Like, there's been crazy parades for sure, but New York, I think we all kind of figured that there was a little aspect that they were going to implode from winning this championship, and sure enough, they did. Like, they were mad, going crazy after a win. They were going crazy after a loss. You could not contain the Knicks fandom in the finals at all. But during this parade, they should have extended the parade for one. They should have had the Macy Day Parade route, and instead they had a shorter route, which was more condensed, and you had millions of people who woke up early, got there at 6 a.m. and got turned away. And then you had people, squeezing their ways in and going past barricades regardless of the authorities and everything, just pushing right past. People climbing on posts and buildings, breaking signs off, fighting each other. I don't know if you all saw, there was a video of a heavier set woman that had climbed a pole, and below her was a skinnier woman, and they were going at each other. And so the heavier set woman comes down, and I was explaining this before, and if you don't see the footage, having someone explain it to you, you feel it's fake, and it's not. It was completely true. The fact that this woman climbed down the pole, grabbed the skinny lady by one arm, flung her with one arm like a rag doll, and then that wasn't it for the skinnier woman. She got up, went right at the heavier set woman, pulled her pants down, started hitting her naked butt, started pulling her panties, and then in response, this heavier set woman started twerking. When someone throws you with one arm like a rag doll, and then when you try to respond back and they just dance in your face, that is a sign to walk away. Like, that is not your fight. Do not stand around. This lady stood around, found out, and the lady came out, started walling her up, and then started twerking afterwards. Like, this is New York. That is crazy. And then you had celebrities on the float, which the only one, there might be two that I feel like should be a part of that parade. Spike Lee and Ben Stiller. Those are the only two celebrities that deserve to be in that parade. Everyone else needs to sit in the expensive seats or whatever that they might have paid for over by the courthouse or the city hall, where they were going to do the the press conferences and everything. But don't be a part of the parade. Like, Timothée Chalamet should not be a part of the parade. I'm sorry. Like, as cool as Timmy is or whatever, like, he shouldn't be a part of the parade. He didn't really do much except for cheer on the sidelines, what like every other fan did. Spike has been there from day one. He has, he deserves it. Ben Stiller is now, making a documentary about it, which I kind of feel like he might have been either like recording footage and then someone just came up and like, hey, are you gonna create a documentary from this, or what are you doing, or whatever, and he just kind of like came out of the back of his head like, oh yeah, I'm making a documentary, and then it became a thing. But I don't think that he went into it with that idea, and now he's trying to compilate some kind of story from all of this. But very interesting how films come around, and so he's making a documentary of it, which I'll still see. It'll be interesting. It's gonna be for HBO, which is odd because he does have a TV series on Apple. So don't know why it's not on Apple. He was also using iPhone, so there's like all the marketing right there. But whatever. And so we got that, and so then after this, actually not even before the parade. It was before the parade. We already started to get news that Dolan may be not running it back for the Knicks next season. And shocker, right? Shocker. I'm actually surprised that the Celtics and the Thunder were able to run it back after their championships, because everyone else hasn't been able to do that since the Warriors. So the fact that there's a good chance that they're going to either lose Shamet or McBride or both, because they can't afford them now post-chip season. So you got that. And, that also reminds me of very much of the 2023 Nuggets, right? Losing Jeff Green and Brucey Brown, two bench players that we couldn't afford anymore. And that also messes up the vibe. And so a lot of, and I don't want to rain on any Knicks fans' parades here, because you all deserve it. Definitely, like, I was right in with you. I was cheering for you and everything. I'm glad that the Knicks won the championship this year. If the Nuggets weren't going to win it, I am so glad that the Knicks did. They were my number 2. So amazing. Absolutely amazing. They need to be more respected than they have been. I don't think they've been nearly as respected as they should be. I've been saying it since Brunson went to the Knicks that he is the guy that's going to take him to a championship. But despite that, you got so many people who are so high on the Knicks right now that they think that they're going to be the ones to run it back or to win a championship twice in a row. Every championship team thinks this. Since the 2018 Warriors, every championship team thinks that they're going to be the ones to break the wheel, and no one has been able to do it yet. Like, hats off to the Knicks. They were a 53-win team this season. That's not great, but it was good enough to get them in the 3rd seed, to get a great run through the postseason, a phenomenal run, a better run than anyone has done, I believe, this entire last 10 years, or since the 2018 Warriors. So, that's awesome. But you're not going to, like, as much as it would be awesome to win a second chip, I don't think the Knicks are going to win a second chip. I think they won the one. They might win another one in like 5 years from now. That's highly possible, but they're not going to win a back-to-back championship. No. Like, you got way too many other opportunities, and it just changes. There's vibes that are going to change, especially if you can't pay McBride or Shamet. That all of a sudden shifts. So I don't think that the Knicks are going to win another championship yet. They'll win their 4th one or their second relevant one in the next 5 years, maybe a little bit more than that. But they've got another hill. It's just as hard to stay on the top of the mountain as it is to battle up the mountain, as we've seen as Nuggets fans, as we've seen as anyone else, that's won the championship in the last 6 years, 8 years. So I think that they will definitely be a favored one for sure. Obviously, the champion is always favored in the next season, but I think there are just way too many other teams right now that are pulling. I think the fact that the Spurs did go as far as they did this season, if they keep as much of that team together as possible, they are very much my favorite to win the championship next year. I would love the Nuggets to be that. We'll see, because the Nuggets are kind of a little bit of an enigma right now. And then a lot of people are high on OKC. I don't think I'm as high as OKC as everyone else is. I think that they are the new Celtics, as the Celtics came back their defending year, lost, and so I think OKC will lose again this next season. They'll probably go to the playoffs for sure, but I think that they might be a second round exit this coming playoffs. So my favorites for this next championship, depending without knowing any other further offseason happening dealings or whatever, I think that the Spurs are favored. I think if it's hard to know about the Celtics, but I think the Pistons, they lost and they should have gone a lot further. I think they will. So I think that the Pistons are going to go a lot further. They might even go as far as the finals next season. If not them, I think the Cavs. The Pistons or the Cavs are my 2 favorites to go to the finals next season. West Conference, Spurs, and the second team in the West is difficult, because the West has. I mean, I'm not going to say it's the more difficult conference. I know a lot of people like to dog on the East Conference, but they've won several championships so far. Is it an easier route? Sometimes, but the route that the New York Knicks took was not an easy one. Like, they still dominated, but it was not easy. The Cavs were a good team. The Sixers got in as an 8 seed, and they got as far as they did as an 8 seed. So they took out the second seed Celtics. So it's not like they're chopped liver. They're all good. I think the Spurs are my favorite for next season. I definitely think the Mavericks will be better. I think the Jazz will be better, and I think I'm trying to think of all the teams here. Obviously, I think the Trailblazers. That's another one. I think the Trailblazers are going to be a much better team next season, and we're going to get into that soon here because that's part of my next topics. But I would also put on there. Well, I think Denver has a good chance. You know, if they do what they need to do that I want them to do, I think they could have a good chance. But if they completely blow it up, then I'm very doubtful on that. But then I would say the Clippers don't. I'm not sold on the Clippers. They've kind of sold out. The Lakers, I think, will be a decent team next season, and I still think that OKC will be a decent team. I just don't think that they're going to go to the finals. For me, it's the Spurs. I think the Spurs go back to the finals next season as well. Let's get into our next topic. So, bombshell trades, as you just saw, Giannis Antetokounmpo finally got traded to the Miami Heat. All day yesterday, it was, is he going to go to the Boston Celtics? Is he going to go to the Miami Heat? Nothing can get done until this gets done. Before we even got this, though, we got for me, in my personal opinion, I think a crazier trade that we were not expecting, and that actually helps the Nuggets, is that Julius Randle got traded to the Brooklyn Nets in a 3-team trade that included Claxton. So if I get over here to my, where it is my, here we go. So Julius Randle and a number 28 pick in the NBA draft to Brooklyn Nets, Nick Claxton to the Chicago Bulls, and the Timberwolves will acquire Brooklyn's number 33 pick for Randle and number 28. So this, to me, yeah, good for them. They're stockpiling a little bit more of their trades. They only got one trade so far, but they, Julius Randle was still a very pivotal part in taking out the Nuggets this season. So you're breaking up him and Devo. There's word going out that maybe Gobert might be a part of it or not. But then I don't know if you all saw this, but the Timberwolves released a statement that they would only trade Jaden McDaniels for Giannis or Jokic. I don't see why they think that McDaniels is that good of a player, because he's not. But to me, to say that, if I'm Ant, that I'm taking that a little bit of as a slight, like, why are you not comparing Ant to those two guys? Like, why is McDaniels the one that you're saying that you're not going to trade unless you get those two stars, So I like Perk on NBA First Take said he swears that Ant is happy after this Julius Randle trade, because apparently Julius Randle was a vampire in the locker room and was sucking up all of the vibes and everything, and so he's happy that he's gone. But I don't know. There was also talk before this postseason even, or the offseason even happened, that Ant was unhappy. So I think if you see the your organization talking about your teammate and comparing him to Jokic and Giannis and not including you, like, it just kind of feels like that would be a slight. But that might be me. Let me know in the comments what you think. And so to me, this just says that this is also good for the Nuggets. Like, you get rid of, like, because obviously the Timberwolves are I would say one of our most heated rivals. Obviously, we always have the Lakers. Lakers fans, you'll always be in our hearts. But the Timberwolves have been more of a case for us. And so to see them getting broken up because they need to focus on the Spurs or OKC makes them more susceptible to getting losing to the Nuggets. And I think the two key players in the Minnesota lineup that will always help the Minnesota Timberwolves against the Nuggets is going to be Jaden McDaniels but the fact that you got rid of Julius Randle, I think helps the Nuggets. It also takes away cap space from the Brooklyn Nets in signing Peyton Watson. So there's hope there. And then the Lakers are currently looking at other players. They're looking at trying to get Lou Dort. And if you get Lou Dort, you can't afford Peyton Watson. So would I like Lou Dort on the Lakers? No. But I will allow it if it keeps them away from trying to poach P-Watt from the Nuggets, So I'm really hopeful that Peyton Watson will be continue to be a Nugget. Fingers crossed. And we'll see. But that does leave open other talks for the Nuggets, and there's a lot more discussion. They've been wanting to possibly move up in the draft tonight. They have currently the 26th pick, which is odd, knowing that it's the year 26 and they got the 26th pick. It might be good. You don't know. Maybe it might be good. But they want to get up further, and so they are looking at trying to trade or get off of Zeke's contract. And it's crazy when so many Nuggets Nation fans have been begging for them to get off of Zeke's contract. The second that they hint at getting off of Zeke's contract, but included their asset of the draft pick, now all of a sudden, that's a horrible deal. Don't do it. Like, you can't pick and choose. It can't be all perfect. You got to either want off the Zeke's contract or keep your pick. You can't have both. So that was interesting, I just think. But the more that's interesting from this whole thing is that I know the DNVR keeps on referencing the comments from Josh Kroenke saying that talking about complacency, and as a direct footnote towards Jamal Murray. And I hope that that's not the case. And I hope that they aren't actively looking to trade Jamal Murray. I also have seen the talks of possibly trading AG. And that, I just don't want to, I don't know who I would rather have traded between Jamal Murray and AG, because to me, you cannot trade Jamal Murray, AG, and Jokic. Those three are the core. They are the reason that we won a championship. All three of them. Not just one of them, all three of them, sue me, whatever. I think that they all had a significant impact on the Nuggets championship. And so you cannot get rid of them. AG is one of the most beloved players in Nuggets Nation, maybe even of Nuggets Nation history. Obviously Jokic will get a statue, but AG he gets louder applause when they call his name than Jokic does in Ball Arena. Okay. Jamal is amazing. He has been amazing. I know he has had some playoff struggles. He used to be known for playoffs. Now he's having playoff struggles. I think he's got it. He had a great season. I think he will come back better and hit harder in the postseason. But for me, with Aaron Gordon, I know a lot of people are focused so much on his injury prone. And one thing that really reminded me and opened up my my opinion on this factor is, when did Aaron Gordon start becoming injury prone? Think back to when it was. It was when his brother died. So that itself carries way more weight on your heart. And if you're not able to get through it, then it starts reflecting in the rest of the body. I can speak from experience, as my sister passed away when I was younger. So if you've ever lost a loved one, you understand the significant impact that losing a loved one as close as Drew Gordon was to Aaron Gordon. You understand how much that affects your body. and the mind-body connection. So this is something that I feel like has not been talked about enough. It should be talked about more. And I've been, calling out whenever this is, trade AG or whatever, he's injury prone, because he needs to get healed from the loss of his brother. You also think about Michael Porter Jr. When did he get injured? He got injured when the stuff with his brother was happening. Like, this stuff is real. When the stress has nowhere else to go, it seeps into the body. So Aaron Gordon, he has been injury prone as of recently because of his brother, the loss of his brother. Like, he was a tank before then. Before Drew Gordon died, Aaron Gordon was a tank. You could not hurt that guy. And now all of a sudden he gets injured on just a jump. I don't buy that as coincidence. That is definitely a mind-body connection that needs to be healed, essentially. So I think that if he just takes some time, heals on the offseason, and then during the regular season, you have to manage his minutes way more than you did before. Maybe even you put him on the bench occasionally. You only play him 15, 20 minutes a game, especially in regular season. Like, we don't need to go for the 1 seed. If anything that the Knicks taught us, again, it's that you don't have to be the 1 seed to win the championship. You just got to be healthy and have a good postseason run. So underplay Aaron Gordon. Don't play him so many minutes. You still have a very young Spencer Jones who can play a lot of those minutes. If need be, you can add in David Roddy, who has also shown to be a really high impact player in just the couple of games that we saw. I think that he would do well. But I honestly do think that the Nuggets should run it back. I know a lot of people hate this idea, but I just can't see another way. Like, I had so much trust in this team, and the only thing that beat this team was injuries. It was injuries. That was the only thing that defeated this team and took out their legs by the end and the start of the postseason, and they couldn't go further because they were just too beaten up. I know a lot of other teams were beaten up too, but all those beaten up teams did not make it to the finals. Spurs were healthy. Knicks were healthy. They all were healthy by the end of the finals. And so I think that the injury bug really hit the Nuggets hard. And they might have not also been locked in as much too, because looking back, so ever since the finals this season wrapped up, I went back and I looked at I've been rewatching the 2023 playoffs with the Nuggets. And that Nuggets team and this Knicks championship team, they look so much similar. The way that their mindset is, like, they're always looking at when they win a game, it's 0-0. Or if they're ahead in a game, they feel like they're tied or they're the ones behind. That mentality has driven them to be so dominant. We don't see that Nuggets right now. The Nuggets that we see right now is like, oh man, I don't know if I can go further. This is like, I'm too hurt. I'm too beaten up and everything. Like, that's the kind of mentality that right now that we kind of are getting from the Nuggets. So I think they need to shake things up within just the leadership that's inside. When Adelman came in, I think he gave too much space for the players to move around. He needs to rail him in. That's one thing that Malone did really well. Apparently, there's some words or some idea that Jokic is the reason that they don't do the Defensive Player of the Chain award anymore. I think they need to put it back. If Jokic doesn't like it, it's Jokic. He doesn't like any award. But for the other guys, the Bruce Browns, the Peyton Watsons, the Zeke Najis, getting that award, getting some kind of accolade for doing well in a game, it goes a long ways. It helps the vibes, you know? So I think they got to bring that back. You got to bring that back. Or at least do something. Something more than just, great game, guys. On to the next one. Like, Adelman is such a dud. And if they're not going to get rid of him, fine. I get it. It's first time as a head coach, do it again, see if he can do it better. But in that second season, you got to have some kind of new approach to getting vibes higher. And you need to have some guys on there that help that. Getting rid of Vlaco was not a great idea in the vibes department. Getting rid of DJ was not a great in the vibes department. I would definitely be on board if the Nuggets were to hire DJ as a staff member, as a coaching staff member. I think that kind of veteran status guy would be excellent in the Nuggets coach staff. I think that would be perfect. So, but then also you got to focus on the healing. The recovery center, whoever's dealing with the recovery, they weren't doing their jobs right. You got to get someone new. And they this is a company or a organization that owns many championship level teams. Like, you can't find a good health recovery team. Like, come on, Cronkies. You can put out a little bit more extra money for that. But so there's my thoughts on that. Then also, going back, Giannis getting traded to Miami. I'm very happy that he's not coming to the Western Conference, that's for one. And I think it's best for him to stay in the Eastern Conference, as we do know that there are, I guess, slightly different aspects there. One other team that I forgot to mention that I think that will go better next season is the Pacers. I think the Pacers, if Haliburton is healthy, I think they got a good squad on them right now that they could easily make a good run into the playoffs. Of course, we're gonna have to we have yet to see that, but we'll, hopefully he's healthy, because he does make things interesting. But then the thing with Miami getting Giannis is, I don't know who the shooter is now. Like, they got rid of Tyler Hero. So if you don't know, let me read the trade here. So Milwaukee is trading Giannis and Bobby Portis to the Miami Heat for Tyler Hero, Kel'el Ware, and James Jaquez, and is it Yakonis? I don't know how to. I apologize for not knowing how to pronounce that name. And then 3 first-round picks, including number 13. And my light just turned on me. And then 1 pick swap and a second rounder to the Miami Heat. So this is one team, and this is only 2-team deal. That's what they're sending back. And so, I guess good for Miami, or for Milwaukee. They get to redo their the rebuild, I guess. Good for Tyler Hero. He gets to go home. He's from Milwaukee, so that's a homecoming for him, which is crazy because some of the Milwaukee Bucks fans are acting like he's not one of them, and they're kind of being mean about saying that he's like 11 from Stranger Things. Like, he's one of you guys. You guys got to calm down. He's one of you. If you're a true Bucks fan, then you should be happy that this is happening. If Derek White came back to the Denver Nuggets, or not came back, but, came and played for the Denver Nuggets, that would be incredible. I would absolutely love that. He's a Coloradan. He deserves to be playing with the Denver Nuggets. Like, are you kidding me? If we got Derek White, like, despite all the facts that, he's a great defender, he's a great shooter, he's a Coloradan. If you have a Coloradan and one that's that good of a shooter, like, why are you not happy about that? Because at the other time, too, like, Giannis did not want to be with you. He is your Carmelo Anthony. People kind of pass over that. He did not want to be with you, Bucks. He wanted out. So separate any kind of feelings you had with Giannis. He should be dead to you now. Appreciate the years that you had with him. He doesn't want to be with you anymore. So let him go and accept your own guy coming in to play with you. And then we had, then also the fact that, so you're getting rid of Tyler Hero, and you have Davion Mitchell is now like the main point guard for the Miami Heat. There's word about that they might be losing Norman Powell. So really, I don't know what's going on with the Bucks now. This is or not the Bucks, the Miami Heat. Like they got Bam Adebayo and Giannis. I think that they definitely get better than they were last season. They might actually make, the 8th seed now, but I don't think that this makes them a dominant team by any means. I think this is very similar to the Rockets and KD kind of thing, So interesting there. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, but I'm not very I'm just glad that he's not in the Western Conference. But then the other thing too of that is that, like I said, Boston was another team that was possibly going to trade for him, and they were putting up Jaylen Brown for him. When you're Jaylen Brown, hearing that you're going to get traded another year, and that's got to affect vibes there, and so they're looking to trade for him. And that'll be interesting if we get another trade by the end of the night and that we see Jaylen Brown going somewhere. Hopefully it's not to Denver for one of our guys, because again, I just don't know. I just don't want to break up the chemistry that the core Nuggets have already developed. If you want to, trade Christian Brown and Cam Johnson for Jaylen Brown, then that's fine. I'm okay with that. But those three, you got to keep those three. So. Let's go on to our next topic. NBA draft night. So 2026. It's come. Actually, really, I almost forgot. Some hiring that happened. And we'll get back real quick to the draft night. But just real quick, I totally forgot. Tavago Splitter, of the head coach of the Trailblazers, was let go, and he got rehired by the Chicago Bulls. So he is now their new head coach. The new head coach for the Trailblazers just got called for Micah Nori, the assistant coach of the Timberwolves. I have been saying this for I don't know how long. The Nuggets, actually, really, ever since Malone got fired, I've been saying this. You got to get Micah Nori as the head coach of the Denver Nuggets. I've been saying this. And everyone's like, oh, he's no more than just an assistant coach. Micah Nori outcoached Malone in the 2024 round 2 playoffs, if you remember that. He's a very good coach. That's where I got most impressed with him, was how well he coached in that series. Because Chris Finch was out. He got injured in round 1, and so round 2, it was all Micah Nori. And he has shown in any time that he has stepped over or he has taken the reign from Chris Finch to be a very good head or lead coach there. So I think that one alone helps the Trailblazers very well. And then you had the Mavericks hiring the Michigan State head coach as their head coach. It'd be very interesting. I don't know how that goes, with the Mavericks. He's jumping from college now up to the NBA. Could have kind of an effect like Dagnott had, when he came in. Will probably take a couple of seasons, so I don't think the Mavericks are going to be steamrolling into the playoffs anytime soon next season, but they will be a lot better. They might be a play-in team, but that's very interesting. So, we'll see. We'll have to see what comes up. But I just wanted to point that out. Micah Nori to the Portland Trailblazers as head coach. That's, and on the other side too, they were looking at Jared Dudley to fill in that role. I guess they're not going to go with him. So most likely Jared Dudley's going to be back as our defensive or our assistant head coach. So pretty much running him back, at least staff-wise. It was very interesting. Get rid of the two analysts for altitude that called all of our games and was great. No, get rid of those guys. Don't get rid of the guys on the bench making bad calls. No, get rid of the two broadcasters that have been around for so long and a core piece of Nuggets Nation. But was that how many wins can the Wizards get with healthy Trey and AD? Well, that's the one thing too, right? We don't know if AD's sticking around. He's been on the chopping block, possibly. I know Trey is going to sign a deal, or did or will or whatever. So you got Trey, and then you do still have they got the first pick tonight. So that's actually a good transition into tonight. So the top picks for tonight are, if I get back to my, where did I go? Just bear with me one quick second here. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. Okay. So the first pick in tonight's draft is going to be from the Washington Wizards. Second pick is going to be the Utah Jazz. The third pick is the Memphis Grizzlies. The Chicago Bulls are the fourth pick. The Clippers have the fifth. The Brooklyn Nets have the sixth. Seventh goes to the Sacramento Kings. The Atlanta Hawks have number 8. Dallas Mavericks have number 9. The Milwaukee Bucks have number 10. The Golden State Warriors have number 11. And then Oklahoma has the 12th and 17th pick, because of course they do. They stockpile picks like crazy, which is another thing that was released too, is they're getting rid of Andrew Wiggins to make space for more pick space. Like, you should have a cap on how many picks you're allowed to have. The fact that the NBA does not control that, or at least regulate that, is crazy. And that's why you are having someone like Sam Presti basically exploit everything that the NBA is doing right now. But from officiating to pick farming is what he's doing. He's farming for picks. That's exactly what he's doing. Miami Heat has the 13th pick. The Charlotte Hornets have the 14th and 18th pick. Bulls have the 15th pick. Grizzlies have the 16th. The Raptors have the 19th pick. The Spurs have the 20th. The Pistons the 21st. The Sixers the 22nd. The Hawks the 23rd. The Knicks the 24th. The Lakers the 25th. The Nuggets the 26th. Celtics the 27th. The Timberwolves are the 28th. The Cavs are the 29th, and the Mavericks round out the 30th pick of tonight's round 1 draft night. So there you are. There's your 30 picks for tonight. So in the chat here, we got Johnny with talking about the John Morant. So the Pelicans were going to trade for him. They no longer are interested in him, and I don't blame him. You know, there's a lot of drama that is associated with John Morant. So I think it'll be very interesting to see where he goes. There is news that the Sacramento Kings are possibly going to waive DeMar DeRozan, which is crazy. And the Clippers are going to be the team that picks him up most likely, which is actually a good fit for him because he is a LA kid. I'm sure he wants to go back and play. All LA kids want to go back and play in LA. So there's that. There is possible chance that Kawhi Leonard might leave the Clippers too. So we got to look at that. So there's Kawhi Leonard might be leaving the Clippers. DeMar DeRozan might be entering the Clippers. John Morant is in purgatory somewhere, you know, but he's either going to be suffered to rejoin the Grizzlies again in a very toxic relationship, or he's going to get traded to another team. And then you had Walker Kessler did not sign his extension. He wants more. They did not give him enough. So he is also possibly, the Lakers are looking for him too. So the Lakers get him and Lou Dort. There's no way they're going to get P. Watt. So I actually kind of wish that Walker Kessler would kind of check his ego just a little bit and come and be the backup center for the Nuggets. That would be great. And then Keontae George also did not get an extension. So that's also interesting to see what happens there. But, you know, so there's actually quite a lot going on with the draft nights that could affect other players right now. And then let me just see. The number 1 pick right now currently is AJ DeBonsa. He's number 1. Number 2 is Darren Peterson. Number 3 is Cameron Boozer. Number 4, Caleb Wilson. Like I said, I am not fairly educated in this year's draft, so I will be very. I'll keep an eye on them during regular season to see who really stands out, but I just don't see them outplaying Cooper Flagg or Connor Knippel or any of these other better picks. I think this is like, Zach Richicher, I think, was kind of a dud as a first round pick, or as a first round pick. I think this could be another one of those kind of years where the first couple of picks were not great. But we'll see, Let me know in the comments what you think. And yeah, I would agree with you. Sam might be a top GM for sure. Unfortunately, he does do a lot with that realm. But yeah, so real quick before we head out here, there is a film that I did last year called Park La Brea. If you haven't really been watching my show or anything, I just wanted to share the trailer for it to kind of hype it up and just be on the lookout for when it comes out. And I'll definitely report here if you want to stay in tune to when it comes out. But definitely wanted to share this with you. So we'll check this out.
How can you tell what's real and what's imagined when they look the same from where you're sitting? My mind. We're all one perceived event away from madness. A seemingly innocent encounter can offset a chain of events which alter your brain's narrative. We're creatures of justification. I hate that this was justified. Was madness a choice?
Chris!
Well, that's all I got for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe. Share it up to your friends and family. And if you do feel gracious enough to give me a donation, I'd really appreciate it. Helps keep the lights on around here. It'd also give me the budget to be able to put in the box score tickers or widgets in the lives that I do during games. It would also give me a lot more budget to be able to, give you the product that you really need and want. So if you are interested in giving a donation, the link for my PayPal is in the description below, as well as on the profile page. You can head over there and also tack on a take, I love shouting out to you and the takes that you got to offer. So if you're wanting to donate and everything, tack on a take and I'll shout you out in the next episode. But you've been listening to CS 105.1, where I talk about the Nuggets with good vibes. We'll catch you later.